Hello. Got me knitting tonight. Got me new knit pick needles. Hi Lydia. Yeah, I'm knitting tonight. I was doing some crocheting just before I started, but I've just finished a sleeve. I've got one more sleeve to do. Then, of course, all the bands and the trimmings and the bits and the pieces. Hi Amanda. So I'm actually doing a bit of knitting tonight. I don't know that I'm getting on with these new knit pick needles because I find they're hurting the ends of my fingers. Hey Nathan. How are you doing? Hey, well, we just had a horrendous load of rain. It come down like drumming it was. I wonder what on earth it was. I said to my son, what the heck's that? He said, it's rain. It just come thumping down like torrents it was. And then after about 5 minutes, it stopped. And now there's no sign of it. Whatever. Whatever. Hi, so what's knitting? Hello there. Hello, Esther. What am I doing today? Recovering from falling over yesterday. The weather is horrible and it's windy and it's raining and yes. Well, if you'd have seen my last video just done, I didn't realise my hair had been attacked by the wind as much as it had. I'm sitting there and I'm looking like when I did the replay, I thought, oh my goodness me, look at your hair. I had to battle my way across to the shed, as you probably gathered by the look of my hair, yeah. Hi Diane, hi Lizzie, hi Jean. You saw me vlog today, did you, Jean? Yeah, where? Yes, Hi, Shad. Necklaces. Well, I've got earrings. I've got 2 necklaces, that one and this one. And as I was hunting in the shed, I found a lovely brooch. So I'm all glitter buggy today. It's because I'm wearing black. I don't really care for wearing a lot of black. I'm not a goth, Hi, Connie. Yeah, my friend, she's a bit gothy. She wears black all the time. I used to wear black when I was much, much bigger because you have this illusion, don't you? You fool yourself into thinking you look slimmer wearing black, but you don't really. You just still look as fat as you did before, but wearing black, yeah. Yes, it has to be on the left-hand side. That's where the royals always wear them. It's where our late queen always wore hers, on the left-hand side. Yeah, I used to always wear mine on the right-hand side, but then I found a great big tin full of brooches. I used to, well, I still got actually, a lot of the cowls, that wrap over and fasten. I've still got a lot to try and sell. And I used to use the brooches to fasten them together with instead of, buttons, yeah. What am I making tonight? Wouldn't be me if it wasn't vintage, was it? It always was known. People used to come in my shop and ask for the pattern of the red-headed lady wearing a pink cardigan, and we all knew which one they meant. Yeah. It's done in double knitting or chunky, and I'm doing the chunky version. I'm actually using some vintage yarn. Again, it wouldn't be me, would it? It's called Peyton's Moonbeam. It's sort of purplish, although it's not showing very well in this light, is it? It's looking a bit brown. It's kind of purplish anyway. Well, it wouldn't be me if it wasn't a very basic pattern, would it? Yeah. Yeah, the Lucille Ball hairdo. Well, they all used to wear wigs, I think, back in the day, didn't they? I've made more of those than I can shake a rat at, yeah. I hope I never lose this pattern. Do I have Siri on my phone? No, I don't. No. I can't even get the Ring doorbell on my phone. It's took itself off. Everything I put on my phone takes itself off again. Don't ask me why. My son doesn't know why. He says I must delete them, but I don't. So, I don't know. The Ring doorbell is now asking me for the password and the number, which my son didn't know he's going to have to ask his missus when she comes in. So, yes, I was doing the high dive. I was putting my laundry away, and I don't really know what happened. 1 minute I'm reaching up. I've got in one of my wardrobes, I've got 2 rails. No, I don't have an iPhone. No, I've only got a cheap phone. I've got 2 rails in the wardrobe. One like at the bottom, where I put your trousers and your t-shirts and things, and one at the top where I put my long sleeve t-shirts or blouses and things at the top. I was putting the laundry away, and it's got a pull thing that pulls down. But if I pull it all the way down, it's so heavy for me to push back up. So I just pulled it a bit of the way. And of course, the wardrobe doors were both open. And I'm hanging it up, and the next minute I'm on the floor with the wardrobe door with me. And I still don't know what happened. I just overbalanced for some reason or another. I do that all the time, yeah. Oh, the seagulls. Can you hear them? Seagulls are squawking away there. Hi, Yolanda. Hi, Jean. Yeah, you did hear them, did you? No, my daughter-in-law's got the password, but she's not in at the minute, so. Well, I'm not hurt, Nathan, but I'm sort of stiff as though I've wrenched something, my bottom of my back hurts. I can't see any bruises, but I haven't really looked, to be quite truthful. Oh, I don't care about the Barbie movie. And I believe that Oppenheimer is like 3 hours you'll never get back in your life again. My friend went to see it and said, oh my God, she was so bored. She said it dragged on and on and on. No, I've never been well, obviously, I'm the wrong generation to be a Barbie fan, aren't I? I used to make clothes for my niece's Barbie dolls, but that's about as much as it ever went. I can't understand what all the big fuss is about it. As you can tell, I'm not a moviegoer anyway, and I don't really watch many films, yeah. Oh, my son coming downstairs, probably to let the doggos out. Yeah. So my wardrobe door is now in the snug. Waiting. It'll have to have, well, the holes will have to be repaired. But to be honest with you, the hinges were held on with screws that tiny. I don't think they were 1/4 of an inch long. Tiny little screws. There's no wonder the damn thing fell off. I must have just leaned against it as I fell. I didn't actually it with me. But it came straight off. It's ripped straight out of the wall, yeah. They don't make furniture like they used to, do they? Well, I think I'd rather watch Action Man than Cindy and Barbie. I used to have a teenage doll years ago, but long, long before anybody invented Barbie or Cindy. It was just a teenage doll, just a cheap one that, I got off the market when I was a kid. I used to knit clothes for it and sew clothes for it, but it wasn't anything special. It was only a cheap little plastic thing, yeah. Where there's a claim, there's a blame. No, it was me. I don't know why I always fall backwards. I just overbalance for no reason whatsoever. I think because I had both hands doing something that I just went, I must have stepped funny or leant funny or whatever. There's no rhyme or reason to when I fall over. When I fall over, I'm more shocked because I'm like, what happened? I don't get tripped up. I don't trip over anything. I just fall. But I've been really good since I've been here. I think I've only had about 3 or 4 falls since I've been here. Whereas when I lived on my own, my goodness me, the floor was my friend, I was always on it. But yeah, I'm stiffening up, but I should have had some painkillers, but I don't like taking pills, yeah. Oh, I always laugh about whatever happens to me, only me. Because if you don't laugh, people don't want to hear you moaning, do they? Found that out years ago. I stopped watching a few videos on here because all they ever do is moan. Oh, I'm not well, oh, bad, oh, and I think, oh, I have enough problems in my own day without listening to yours, yeah. Now, it could be all the cladding that I have, Connie, you see, all the padding I have on my, BTM, that, I bounce usually. Yeah. Oh, talking about hot baths, I've tried to book my hotel for when I go back to Prestwich for 3 days, and none of them have a wet room. They all only have baths, but they're low baths. I thought it doesn't matter if it's a low bath or not. I can still fall in it or fall out of it. So I think it's going to be a sponge bath, I think, when I'm away. Still, it's only a couple of days, isn't it? And I'll have had a shower before I go, so yeah. I was going to go in the hot tub, but somehow or other I never got around to it. Yeah. I'm a bit of a wimp. Our hot tub's outside. I'm a bit of a wimp when it's windy. I mean, you saw my hair, didn't you, in the last video? I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. I didn't realise my hair was that bad till I watched the video back, and it's like a halo. A halo of fluff around my head. Still, yeah, I'm knitting. It looks grey, doesn't it? It's actually purple. No, it still doesn't look purple, does it? Still. Hey, dearie me. Oh, the doggies are around somewhere. We had to get a new collar for Trixie. She was just a hefty thing, yeah. I think it's supposed to be chunky. I'm knitting it as a chunky anyway, let's just say. I'm knitting it on a 6mm. And I'm knitting it to a chunky pattern, so I think that's what it is. It's a bit disconcerting though because of the colour of the needles. The colour of the needles is almost the same colour as the wool, so you're a bit, whether you're splitting the stitches or whether you're actually knitting it cleanly. But one thing I've found out about these needles is they make my fingers sore because I must push my work down when I'm knitting. I'm trying to knit slacker with it so it doesn't do that, but still. Yay! Well, it's not raining yet. Still windy out there. Oh, gosh. When I was doing the video in the shed, the door kept banging and banging. I actually had it propped back with a mannequin, but it blew the mannequin as well. It was really windy. That's why I look like I did. Windswept and interesting. Or should I say windswept and uninteresting. I shouldn't have leaned forward then. My back was a bit stiff then. I should have taken painkillers, but like you said, I don't like that feeling, when you're all feeling a bit fogged up when you take painkillers. You don't feel yourself, do you? You feel as though you're on a different planet without the alcohol, But still, I'll take some before I go to bed. That'll make me sleep. Oh, yeah, push the button. There's 30 people in and I've only got 30 thumbs. That means quite a few of you were born without a thumb. Hi, Chris. How you doing? What we having for tea tonight, Chris? What are you doing? What are you cooking? Well, I ate some fish cakes and that, and then I realised they were 2 days out of date. So if you don't see me tomorrow or the day after, you'll know what happened. My son said they'd be all right. They've been in the fridge. But there was one left, but I don't think I want it now. I know it's 2 days out of date. Knit Club was very nice, although I left my scarf behind. And my friend went the day after. Oh, the ambience of my salt lamp. My friend went the day after, and she said, oh, yeah, we saw it on the back of the chair, but we don't know where it is. So, in other words, it was on the back of my chair, but somebody took a fancy to it by the sound of it. And it's sad, really, because it was a gift, and I really liked it. So I don't have the pattern for it because it was a gift. The only hope I've got is getting in touch with the person who sent it to me to see if they can remember sending it to me about 10 years ago, and if they can remember what pattern they used, which probably is a no-no. Because I've not actually seen a pattern like it. It was tapered at one end, and then it went wider, then it went tapered again. It was very, very long, but it wasn't very wide. And it was absolutely brilliant. You know, much better than an ordinary scarf, because it just didn't bulk up round you. And yeah, I think it was done in merino, so it was really nice and soft. So I'm quite upset. I probably can't go to the library this Monday, but I've asked my friend, will she ask again if they found it? I should be very upset if it's gone missing. Very, very upset. Hey, never mind. I can make myself one if I had the pattern. I could do it myself. Not in merino, of course, but I don't know what this is, what I'm using. Oh, I think I'm all right till I bend over. Oh, I bet I can't read it because my eyes gone. My eyes have gone. Let's have a look if I can read what it is. Made in Romania. Ooh. 83 acrylic, 15 wool, 2% polyester. It's actually got a tiny bit of a shine on it, but you can't see it really. Not really glitter. It's just got a little sheen on it every time when I turn it somewhere. Oh, you've put your back out. It's fun, isn't it, Chris? Not. Yeah. Mine's just stiffened up. It's vintage. I've had it a long time. I think it's supposed to be chunky. I'm knitting it for chunky anyway. Yeah, it says 6.5mm needles. Well, I'm on 6mm, so I'm not far out, am I? Oh, dearie me. Yep. So I'm knitting on the needles. These are not the ones that Ephraim sent me. These are the ones that are a little bit shorter. Yeah, I'm trying to knit up my wool in the shed because, you know, if I try and sell it, I don't get the price I even paid for it. It's like all the dresses that I sold. I paid £20 for them, and they weren't very old, and I got about £4.99 for them, you know. Oh, I know. Things don't heal up, do they, properly? You know, if you break anything or anything. I mean, I've got a fake knee, and it's still not right. And the other day, it was the 15-year anniversary of having my spine operation. Must be my son walking about. And I had my knee done before my spine, so it's never been right. I need a new hip, but I'm just putting it off. I'm not one of these who's, you know, always banging me beads, clattering. I'm not one of these who's always at the doctor's, you know. If I have to go to the doctor's, it's because there's really something wrong with me. You know, I'm not a habitual user, as they say. I mean, there's some people, only finger hurts, I'm off to the, you know, I've got a little headache, I'm off. I'm not one of them. I go with my thumbs hanging off or my legs hanging off or something, you know. It's like people who said to me, oh, did you go to the doctors when you fell off? I went, no, why should I? Just fell. It's just bruising, isn't it? I didn't break anything. I mean, believe me, if I'd have broke my hip, I'd have gone somewhere. But, you know, what can the doctor do if you just bruised yourself, if you've just been stupid enough to fall over? You know, why go and hog up? There's too many people out there really, really ill and not enough services in the NHS. So why would anybody go when their little finger hurts? You know, I can't believe it. I really can't. Or I think I've got a sore throat. Go to the chemist. Go gargle with salty water. You know, I don't understand that culture where they're always at the hospital, always at the urgent care or whatever you call it. Can't understand it. Dee 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 dee. Even when I'm with my boo, all I think about is you. I haven't got a boo. It's been a flipping long time since I ever had a boo. Yeah. I don't think they called him a boo back then. I always thought it was a bit strange when I was like in my 50s and I did have a boyfriend back then, and you're calling him your boyfriend, and you're thinking, you know, hello, Sajida, hello. Hello, how am I? Well, you know, I fell over yesterday, but apart from that, I'm fine, yeah. A new project, yeah, I'm knitting at the minute, yeah, knitting a cardigan. So, well, it's nice to see you. We've not seen you for a bit, have we? So it's nice to see you in here. As it is nice to see everyone. I'm not just singling one person out. It's nice to see everyone, yeah. Hi, Ella. Yes. But it's always nice when you see somebody that you haven't seen for a week or two, isn't it? You think, it's nice that. It's like, welcome back. You're always welcome, you know. Yeah. Because sometimes when you haven't been on somebody's channel for a while, you sort of feel a bit as though, oh, should I be here? Because I haven't been for a bit, you know. But, and I'm a poor one for commenting on people's channels. I'll do the thumbs up and I'll watch them. But unless something really, you know, catches me, I'm a poor one for commenting. And of course, I always mean to answer people's comments that put on my video, and I think, do that tomorrow. And of course, you know, the old adage, like, tomorrow never comes, does it? And then some days I feel terribly guilty and I go through about and answer people's comments, you know, like about 3 months too late. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's clouding over now. I'm always sorry that the clouds don't show. You know, we get some beautiful, like, sort of sunset type clouds here. And they don't show. Do you know, I need my eyes testing. 890. Right. I have to increase, you see, every 10 rows, so I have to keep my eye on it. Hi, Jane. How are you doing? Yeah, it's sort of like a lovely purpley blue colour. And of course, through the window, it looks blue, doesn't it? Well, it's more, you know, with sunset, when it goes a little bit purplish. And, you know, before it goes dark, it's that nice. We have some beautiful sunsets here. You know, I'm not a fan of Fleetwood, but I will say that we do have some lovely, you know, sunsets over the beach. Yeah. You're always missed. And I understand the reasons why you've not been on, Sajida, but, you know, you're always missed. And, you know, everybody's missed that doesn't come on for a bit. We miss everybody. We may not say it, but we always miss it. And also, I don't like drawing attention to anybody's missing, not really. Except Shad, when we say, where's Shad? Where's Shad? Has he gone fishing? Where's Chris? Where's Chris? But other people, we don't, I know that I can joke with Shad and I can joke with Chris and Kaz and Nathan and a few others. But some of the others, you're never quite certain how people are going to take my sense of humour, If I say something that I think is funny, they may not think it's funny, yeah. But, oh, it's a fly. I thought I could hear a weird noise. This fly going zzz. If our Rosie was here, our Rosie would have it snaffled. We've had to get Fatso Trixie a new harness. She pulls like mad. So we don't want her pulling like on her neck, because she's got a collar on her lead. She pulls. We don't want to choke her. So she had a harness, but she grew out of it, Fatso. And so we've had to buy a new harness today. She's not fat. She's a stocky little thing, yeah. So, well, the gypsies have gone. Left a pile of, well, I nearly said the SH1T word because literally they did leave a pile of that behind. So they've finally wandered off now and left a mess behind with them. Had to get the council to come out and clear it. I mean, you wouldn't mind them so much if, they don't pay council tax or rates or anything, and yet we have to foot the bill to get somebody to come out and clean the field up when they've gone because they leave such a mess behind. Yeah. Oh, come on, I've got 45 people in and 23 thumbs up. Have you all lost a thumb? Just a big hint, a big hint. Thank you. One person did it. It is upsetting. I mean, there was one girl saying, oh, it's just their way of life. And I thought, well, yeah, but it's not very hygienic, is it? Going and squatting behind a bush somewhere. It's not hygienic, is it? I know they don't have running water, so they can't have flushing toilets and stuff like that. But still, I'm sure they could. Other people have compost toilets, don't they, and things like that. I mean, we've got a chemical toilet in the camper van. It can be done, they don't have to go and poop behind a bush. Or they could at least take a shovel and dig a hole, couldn't they, It's way too hot for fishing. Oh, my goodness. Send a bit of heat over here and you can have a bit of our rain. Yeah. No, they think it's dirty to use the toilet in the caravan. They don't use it. Yeah, but these just go behind a bush. They don't cover it up or anything. And somebody's got to go and clear it all up. Otherwise, people are treading in it, Oh, what's a subject? You need advice from all of us. Ooh, you'll be lucky with me, love. You got Aran wool. And you need to knit a plain cardigan, or yeah. Which needles to use? I would have thought probably a 5mm for the main. You can knit Aran wool up just plain, Yeah, that's what I mean. If they bury it, it wouldn't be so bad, would it, Chris? Oh, a lovely topic. People could be eating, yeah. Yeah, I would think about a 5mm or maybe a 6mm needle. Anybody got any ideas? Aran weight. It's quite chunky, is it? Yeah, I would say about a 5. I mean, I'm using a 6mm, but this is classed, I think, as chunky, this. Although it does go thick and thin, if you've noticed. It's very... textured. Is that the word? Yeah. But I'm knitting it up as a chunky. Oh, my light just went. Yeah, 5mm probably. This is a 6, but as I say, this is supposed to be a chunky. Oh, I'm getting dark patches in it, aren't I? I'm sure it'll even up when it goes there. These are really pointy, these needles. I mean, they're quite expensive. They're those Knit Pro. And I thought to myself, if I'm going to start knitting again, I'll treat myself because my needles are as old as the hills, you know. They're what I had from when I was in the shop, which is at least 20 odd years ago. Oh, gosh. See what I mean about that? It's a thin bit. I feel like it's going to snap that. It probably won't, but it does feel like that, yeah. So I thought I'd treat myself to some nice new needles since my needles are 20, 30 years old. But they're a bit pointy. They're really... I know Sheila loves them. That Sheila who does that. Sheila's Knitting and Nattering, yeah. Yeah, she knits away with them. They're getting better as they're being used. I think when I first started using them, they had a bit of a coating on them. And they weren't what I call slippy, you know. But I must push the needle down with my thumb because I get a sore thumb. Yeah, it's my thumb's going red. Can you see there's a dent? There's a dent in my thumb. Can you see it where I keep pushing it in? Can you not have a look at one of the patterns on my other ones online are all top down, aren't they? I've given up with Ravelry. They're always top down. Every pattern you pull, top down, top down. I don't knit on round needles. You know, do they not think that other people don't knit on, people knit on straight? Yeah, I haven't got an Aran pattern to hand. I've only got this one, which is chunky. I mean, this is on the old size 6 and 4, which is 6mm and 5mm, isn't it? Oh, and I can't read a word of it. Can't even read what casted on now. Oh dear. Here we come. Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, this is... Well, hang on a minute. You're not as big as me, are you? The size I'm doing is 40-42. And that's got 72 stitches on, but it does have increases. This one increases up to... Hang on, up to 80. But this is chunky, yeah. 120 is a lot, unless that's sort of double knitting you're using. That sounds a lot for an Aran. It's a pity Kaz isn't on, because Kaz has just finished doing an Aran, but she did have Aran stitches on hers. So she maybe... I don't know. As I say, I would say look on Ravelry, but they're always top down. You know, they've got this fascination, Americans, for knitting on circular worms. I think there's only me and Ephraim that likes to knit on a straight pair of needles. Everybody else knits on circles. I just have to, I mean, it's the way you're brought up. I have to have a needle under my arm. It's the way you were taught to knit, isn't it? People who are beginning to knit, they probably learn how to knit on a circular needle. They probably knit free. I find that very, very slow. You know, even when I'm watching people knitting on circular needles, they knit slowly to me. Oh, what have you done there, Janet? That was a bit of a foolish thing to do. Talk to myself. As they say, you get the best answers when you talk to yourself. Yeah, 120 sounds more like double knitting. I think you need a bit less for an Aran. You prefer on knitting with needles, yeah. I know Sheila knits with it over her arm somehow there, doesn't she? She knits like that. I have to have that anchored because I don't hold this needle at all. I just knit the wool's in this hand and I just go over it. I don't hold the needle, yeah. An elephant statue in the yard. No, they're on the window bottom. I love my elephants. I really do. I think I showed you a picture, didn't I, the other week about an elephant done all in little squares. But I don't know why she did. No, Ella, it's a mystery. She went over to doing what do you call it, like scrapbooking and stuff, didn't she? And I don't even think she dyes any wool anymore. I don't know what she's, you know. Maybe it wasn't profitable for her. I mean, she's on her own and she doesn't have a husband with her. She's self-supported and she's living in quite a biggish house. So maybe she's had to. I mean, she used to work editing like medical documents, didn't she, at one time? Like a technical editor. So perhaps she's gone back to doing that. You know, if you know you're not earning enough income to keep your house going when you live on your own, it's kind of a bit worried. I mean, I'm only presuming that. I don't really know, you know. Yeah, I've met Catherine. She's a very nice lady. Very tiny, though. I mean, I'm not big. I'm only 5'2", but she's tiny. It's like a little dolly. She doesn't look it on the videos, does she? She's deleted all her videos, has she? Oh, I didn't know that. I know I haven't seen any new ones for a while. I just thought she was taking a break or something. Yeah. The thing is, Lydia, if you put yourself out there and you get very, very popular, you'll always get someone who is jealous. And you'll always get somebody who is, oh, hello, Blanco. Hi. You'll always get people who are jealous of anybody else's. I know it's been a while since you've been on, but hello and welcome. You know, people are always kind of, they're jealous, aren't they? If anybody gets on in life, they can't just be happy for somebody who's getting on in life. They have to pull them down, don't they, or try to. And it's always the people who probably can't do anything like he does. Yeah. You'll always get them, yeah. I'm one of the people who inspired you to do it. Yay! Hope it's not getting married. No, didn't inspire anybody to get married. No. But like I said before, I think anybody who is got, oh, you've opened an Etsy store. Oh, well, hope you do better than me. Fingers crossed for you. Yeah. You know, I don't know what it is about some people. Hi, Isaac. Why it is about some people that they cannot be happy for other people doing well. They're always jealous or something. I wouldn't mind if it was like, oh, gosh, he's out late. It's the guy who collects scrap metal. If it was somebody who could do equally as well as that person and wasn't getting anywhere, you can understand a bit of jealousy creeping in, can't you? But usually these sort of people who make nasty comments and things like that, they can't do it themselves. And this is what I mean. I can't understand why they have to be so nasty. I mean, it's not just in the crafting world, it's other things in life, isn't it? You're always reading about people who get these awful trolls, don't you, that say horrible things and pull them down. And, you know, I'm just not a fan of it. As I said before, if I go on a video and I don't like what's being said and I don't like the person, I don't watch it. I don't go on there and go, ding, 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 ding. I just leave them alone and don't watch them anymore. There's no need for all this nastiness. You play whack a troll. Oh, I know. Why do people find it exciting to troll people and be nasty? And I mean, I feel so sorry for the young people when they're getting trolled because they don't have the experience and they don't have the hard shell that an adult has that thinks, oh, go away, stop it. It really gets to some of these young ones when, they go on and say, oh, you're ugly, or you're fat, or you're this, or you're that. And these young people can't cope with it, can they, And they trolled him a few months ago. Yeah, whack a troll, yeah. Yeah, keyboard. Yeah, they're always behind a keyboard. They wouldn't do it face to face, would they? But I mean, children, like, I'm surprised at Mikey because he's old enough and I was going to say big and daft enough, to shrug it off. I don't know why he gets so worried about it. I mean, I've had it. Everybody's had it that's got a channel. If you let it bother you, you let them see that it bothers you, they do it all the more. If you think, oh, shut up, go away and play. It's, don't let them see that it gets you. Oh, God, he's got more than a few subscribers. He's got thousands and millions of subscribers, yeah. But but you just got to. But the thing is if it's kids, they haven't got that thick shell, have they? They haven't got the life experience to realise that not everybody's going to love them. I mean, in my generation, they used to say it to your face. So, I mean, it was a little bit better that way. You know, they said it to your face. You could either whop them on, couldn't you, or tell them to shut up. But it's more dangerous now because they do it behind your back and they do it online and they hide behind a different name so you don't even know who it is who's doing it to you. At least when it was my generation, if somebody was bullying you or saying nasty things, they used to say it to your face, kind of thing, or you would hear about it through somebody else. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when we were at school, people used to, oh, some of the nicknames at school. I mean, today they were downright nasty, but I don't honestly think that a lot of them meant it that way. Like all this specky four eyes and, World Cup ears. All that sort of stuff. Or, well, I mean, my son was a bit chubby and he used to get weebles wobble and they don't fall down. Or he got the usual specky four eyes, yeah. Um, they used to come and tip your car over. Yeah, it's, oh, blimey. Kids are just, I don't think Well, in my generation, kids were verbally a bit cruel, but now they just hide behind pseudonyms, don't they? They hide behind the keyboard, and it's much more dangerous. Yeah, you're hearing about so many children who commit suicide because they can't cope with it. I mean, I taught my son to just, if they're smaller than you, whack them one. But you can't do that anymore now, can you? We're talking all those years ago. You could just go and thump somebody. Hello, my Nick Saloon. Yeah, yeah, things are not how they should be. We all know that. It's a sad world, but it'll never be 100%. Never, ever. In an ideal world, nobody would do anything to anybody. Nobody would be cruel. There wouldn't be all these knives and guns and God knows what in an ideal world, would there? But, you know, we all know. I mean, every time I don't put the news on the TV anymore, but it comes on the feed on my YouTube and that. And it's always like somebody's been stabbed, somebody's been run over, somebody's been gunned down. And you're like, oh, for goodness sake, what next? And then there's all these fires in the grease in the roads and all that. I know it's same with Manchester. I get the Manchester News still on my PC. Every day, Isaac, somebody's stabbed in Manchester. I mean, what's with all this? Why does everybody suddenly have to carry a knife? It's just not right. What am I making? I'm making a cardigan. It looks grey, but it's actually purpley coloured. Purple and pink it is actually, but it looks like grey and peach. Maybe when it's done, it'll look the right colour. But I'm knitting for a change, yeah. Knitting for a change. I was crocheting, but I finished a sleeve. So I didn't want to start another sleeve. As you know, I don't use a pattern with my crochet. And so I would be looking down all the time to see what I'd done on the other sleeve, yeah. An outbreak of assaults. Oh, it's sad. Anybody. Young'uns can't walk the street, can they? Because they're being set upon by other younger people. You're working on a blanket. Okie dokie. I'm not much good with blankets, as you know. My boredom threshold is quite high. About 6 rows in on a blanket, I'm like, I've had enough of this now. Yeah. I'd rather do granny squares, but then I curse when I've got to crochet them all together. I don't do that join as you go because it gets heavier and heavier on your knee. You know. You crochet a dress. I used to crochet dresses back in the day when people wore mini dresses, you know. Yeah, it's some old wool, vintage, vintage yarn I had in my shed. As long as she paid you, that's the main thing. I mean, I watched that Star Lily Creations, and she was having a go about people saying, how much she charged for everything. And, she was rambling on and all that. And I thought, she's lucky that she's selling them. People will always moan about how much a crafter wants. to buy, things for. They want things for nothing. They always do. And she gets a phenomenal amount for her crochet, but greyscoat things. She gets a phenomenal amount of money. And I I mean, yes, I know that she shouldn't get trolled because people say she's charging too much for things. But then again, there's like a lot of us out here doing exactly the same thing as she is doing and not being able to get a fraction of the price that she gets. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not even sort of trying to sell things at the minute because I just went off it. I've just packed them all into the shed at the moment. I might have another go at trying to sell them. I did sell one hooded fireside, they call fireside jackets, what they call campfire jackets. And I sold one, and then the other one was bid on, and then when it come time, she didn't pay me. She said, "I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sick and I can't get to the bank." And I'm like, "It's PayPal or something like that." In other words, she didn't want it. I wish they wouldn't do that. I wish people wouldn't bid on things and then not want them in the end. Yeah. Yeah. I was watching Sheila, the one who does the knitting, the Newcastle lady, and she was complaining that people were complaining about her pattern, saying she didn't say how to do the pattern when it got to the armholes, which is exactly what I'd said the other week. And, people were wanting every single row. And I'm like, well, it doesn't work that way. No, I mean, I don't think I charged, um, too much for anything I made. But obviously, people wanted them for next to nothing. So, I mean, people have said to me, "Oh, that's a lovely cardigan. Will you make me one? I'll buy the wool." And I'm like, "No." I said, "No, I'm busy." I just, it's like saying, "I like that Christmas cake that's just took you 3 weeks to make. Will you make me one?" And not offering any money. I'll say, "I'll buy the fruit." You know, you wouldn't do that to anybody who was making you a Christmas cake, would you? So why do they want to do it to anybody who knits or sews or crochets? Yeah. Oh gosh, I know. I always, if it's a book and it's on Amazon and it's a book of patterns and there's sort of a few things in the book that I know I will make, then you don't mind paying 15-20 pound for it, do you? But I object to these Etsy patterns. Some of them, £10 and £12, some of them, and they're very badly written. They're not even written well. Oh dear, hang on, I'm going to have to put the light on. It's getting a little dark outside, as you can see. And it's not the moon that you can see, it's the glow from that reflected in the window. Right. Oh dear. I'm going to sneeze again. Oh my goodness me. Right, I'm going to draw the curtains and put the light on. You have to bear with me because I'm not as sprightly as I was before I fell over. Oh, oh, time for you elephants to go to bed. You're going to go behind the curtains now, elephants, and go to bed. Night night, elephants, night night. Ooh, oh, oh. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. Let's see if I can light her. No, they said a joss stick. That's telling me age, isn't it? an incense stick, but I can't find the hole. There it is. Right. You know, I'll never be a smoker. These lighters scare the living daylights out of me. I always burn my thumb. Oh dear. I always burn my thumb on a lighter. See, I've got colours on it. I'm not altogether in black. Oh, yeah, I've lit my incense stick now. You might see it, smoke spiralling up. Oh, some of the prices of patterns are just ridiculous. Yeah, I don't like the lighters that you flick. I always manage just to burn my thumb. I'd never make a smoker. I'd set fire to myself or burn my nose or something. You're eating your home-baked, focaccia, is it called? Or the jumbo bag. Oh, I don't like tea, sorry, but it does sound fancy. My daughter's a bit like Tracy from Crochet Rock. She has that, biscuit tea. You burn your eyebrows, yeah? I probably would. Oh, I've got something in my eye. Oh, my friend, she got something in her contact the other day, and she's fiddling about with them and washing them, and she had some water in a bottle, and she's washing them, and I'm like, oh, I can't look. I said something about people fiddling with eyeballs that really sets me on end. I'd never be able to wear contact lenses. I'd never be able to do them. You're all charged. Oh, right. Yeah, I can't stand anybody fiddling with their eyeballs. I was bad enough when I had my cataract operation. I'm like going away from like, don't come near my eyes. I can't stand it. Did I tell you that tooth I paid £109 to have it filled? It's missing. Not only is it missing, it didn't fall out, so I must have swallowed it. Nice, isn't it? So there's £109 worth of tooth and filling somewhere floating about in my body. You have to see the funny side blind, Gil. If you can't laugh at yourself, who will, yeah? Yeah, £109 for a filling. I didn't feel it coming out. I was eating my tea, and I thought, something feels a bit odd. So I got the mirror and looked, and it didn't even bleed. It's just vanished completely. It's just like there was never a tooth. And the trouble is, the one next to it is missing. So I've got two missing teeth there and two missing teeth at the top. So it was when I was trying to chew, and I was like, oh, God, there's something in my eye. And I was trying to chew, and I thought, it's a bit odd. I've got nothing to chew with. You missed us. Oh, God, I'm glad to know you missed us. We like to be missed, don't we? Must be awful going through life and nobody misses you, yeah. Oh, dear. Your phone needed charging. I know I said make sure you're all charged up, didn't I, Jane? Yeah. Grandma ended up in hospital. You almost lost her. Oh dear, sorry to hear that. People had some bad things, yeah. She can't refill it, Jean, because the tooth's gone. I must have swallowed it. It's gone altogether. It's not the filling that's gone, the tooth's gone. Everything's gone. I'm not going back to her. She filled these at the front and they're not right at all. £325 I paid for these at the front. They've got a lot of dentists in that, the dentist I go to. So I'm going to ask if I can change to a different dentist because I don't think she did a very good job on my fillings. I think I got the trainee. Oh, she wouldn't have me. She was the one who broke it in the first place. She took the roots out of the tooth that was next to it and she broke that tooth. And I won't go back to her anyway. I told you she killed me when she gave me that injection. She really, I'm not a wimp and I've been to many, many dentists over many years. I have never had an injection like that in my life. I thought she was coming out my cheek the other side. And I kept telling her, stop, stop, stop. And she just carried on. When I went back, I said to her, do you know what? I said, if you come near me with a needle ever again. And she goes, I thought, no, I'm not going back to you, missus. I'm going to try one of the other dentists in the practice. She was, oh, as I say, I have never been afraid of anything. Hi, Kaz. Yeah. Are you working tomorrow? Are you popping in? You're doing a flyby? She flies in and flies out again if she's working in the morning. She's one of these lucky ladies who has to work on a Sunday. I tell you, my mother, she was worse than Ronnie Barker in open all hours. She would have had us open on a Sunday if she could have got away with it. She didn't even close the shop down when I got married. I had to get married at 4 o'clock in the afternoon so that she could shut the shop early. Honestly, that is carrying things. She only had one daughter. She could have shut the shop for a day. All she needed to do was put a notice on the door saying she was closed on my wedding day. But no, open all hours. Yeah, I had a really big weekend. Well, I won't be here one weekend in August. It'll be I think it's about the 16th or the 17th I'll be missing. I'll tell you all in advance, but I won't be here. I will be in Prestwich. And as I won't have my computer and everything with me, my phone will not do a live. My phone is very, very basic and it would die after about 2 seconds, yeah. So there would be no way you began. I'm hoping to take my camera and film, but that will be like an ordinary YouTube, yeah. It won't be a live. Oh, you travelling to Canada? Where? Well, you'll have to persuade somebody else to do a live, Kaz. I'm sure somebody else can do one. Hello, Sina. Chris will have to do it. Oh, don't know. Chris, will you do a live? I don't think that's going to do a row. No, I think I hate having knots in the middle of a row. Yeah, we'll get Chris to do it, or Shad. Or maybe Nathan can do one. Yes, it'll be the first time I'm going back. You're not going to be home. Oh, you're moving, aren't you, Chris? Any nearer yet? Any nearer with your move? What am I making? I'm making a cardigan. The red-haired lady in the pink cardi is as old as the hills. Oh, I will enjoy going back. When am I going to do? It's the weekend in August. I don't know. It's the 17th. I think it's 17th, which is a Saturday, or the 18th. I've not got a calendar. I don't know. It's the Saturday anyway, round about the 18th, something like that. Oh, I love the vintage patterns. They're always bottom up instead of top down. I don't like top down. I can't use a circular needle. I've said this much and more. I just can't. I really can't. I'm excited to go back, yeah. Can't wait to go back and back up to Berry Market. Bring back some fish and some meat and some nice fresh veg. I am excited to be going up there. I'll be bringing back a carload of stuff. I can't knit on a circular needle, which is why I've never done a top down. I've done crochet top down, but yeah, I only I like my garments in pieces. I would rather do pieces and stitch them together than do things all in one. I don't mind doing crochet all in one, because the Doris Chan patterns that I usually use are all in one top down. That's crochet. But I can't do knitting. I just can't do it. Oh, press switch is an overcoat warmer. They don't get the wind from the sea. It'll be lovely not to be blasted every time you stick your nose out the door. I mean, when the video I made this afternoon, when I looked at myself, my hair is just like as though somebody's dragged me through a hedge backwards. And I'm like, I didn't realise, of course, because I don't have a mirror in the shed. It was only like after I'd finished doing the video when I looked at it afterwards. And I thought, my goodness me, look at your hair. It was like fluffy halo all around my head. Yeah, I like doing pieces. They are more precise. As I say, I don't mind doing crochet top down because you can try it on. But when you're doing knitting top down, you can't try it on. In any case, I can't knit on circular needles. I've tried and tried. My tension's all over the place and then it's so slow, I might as well stop. I knit much quicker on a pair of needles. Even though I am getting sore fingers. Oh, dearie me. Well, next week I'm going to be doggy watching. My daughter-in-law's going up to Scotland to look after a house sitting, because somebody's going away and they've got like loads and loads of animals. So she's volunteered to go and look after all the animals. Yeah. Yeah, if you can knit with the circular needles, that's fine, Yolanda, but I just can't. And you have to use the vintage patterns because nearly all of the new patterns are all knitted on circular needles and top down. It's like the world has decided that everybody has to knit on a circular. Oh, we get there. It's windy. We never get, you know, the heat here. We never get this. I mean, we had about a week in June when it was nice, and I think that's probably our summer. It's just the wind. If the wind would drop down, it would be nice. But it's just always, always windy here. Even on a nice day, it's windy. And I'm like, oh, why does it have to be so windy? We came on a nice day when we saw this house. And it was a gorgeous, hot, sunny day, and there was no wind. And we went up on the seafront, and we thought, oh, this is lovely. Should have looked at it in the wind, yeah. I can't knit loose, Kaz. I can't knit without it being underneath my arm. When did we decide to? Well, we didn't actually. We looked at a lot of different places. And it was desperation, really, because I'd sold my house. So I would literally have been having to put all my stuff in storage and live with my son. So we looked at several places. And this was the only bungalow that would suit all of us. Every other place we went looking at, it wasn't suitable. They weren't big, it wasn't big enough. And I can't do stairs, so it couldn't have been a house. Because why would I leave my other house? You know, I would have stayed where I was if I could do the stairs, yeah. But I didn't quite think that there would be. Hang on, that's a section. I would have quite a small little room. You know, when I win the lottery, I'll move into a much bigger place. But that will never happen. So it's like saying, you know, I shall knit fog. No, my son actually toyed with the idea at one time of going to live in Scotland, but I didn't really want to go up there. I mean, the weather is a bit colder up there anyway. And he didn't want to go down south because the prices of houses and stuff were out of our price range down south. And I didn't want to go anywhere where there was no public transport or anything like that. You know, going to living in the middle of no place, I would have felt really cut off. You set yourself a challenge, now you finish your coronation blanket. You're now doing the Christmas wishes blanket. Oh, you brave soul. Another blanket. Woohoo! I've got all those balls of wool left that I never made the second throw, yeah. Oh, my house has gone up. The one I sold it for 260 and it's now worth 320. Yeah, I couldn't stay. I was falling down the stairs, which was more dangerous. Fleetwood's fantastic. You are joking me. Fleetwood is a dump. It's a dump. If I'd have seen the shops before I ever came here, I would have never come. It's all closing down, boarded up. Everywhere's closing down. Police are always out every week on the main street because there's trouble and it's just not nice. There's no industry. There's nowhere for anybody to work. So all Fleetwood is like people on the dole, you know, people on benefits, kids with no prospects, and old people. That's what Fleetwood is. It's not exactly the swinging metropolis. Yeah, I'll get better fish when I go to Bury Market than I would here. And it's supposed to be a fishing town. It's got 4 little fishing boats now. We used to have big trawlers and everything. It's all dead. There's no industry, there's no jobs, there's no anything. All the shops are closing down. All we've got is like Poundland, which is like Dollar General, or even, you can tell how bad it is in Fleetwood, even KFC's closed down. Even KFC's shut. That's how bad it is. It's getting to be something when KFC shuts, isn't it? And we don't have a McDonald's. That's how bad it is. It's getting bad when you can't even get foul takeaways, isn't it? It amazes me though how many camper vans come. There's not enough young people. Well, there's no jobs, so they're either dead leg young people or they move away. Because there's no industry here, there's nothing. Nothing for them to do. Apparently, there used to be manufacturing places, that made bedding, made jackets, made everything like that. It's all gone. All gone. Even the fishing, industry, the frozen fish and everything like that. There's only one place left now. It's just a dying place. It needs a big injection of money. Well, it would be for retired people, which it is, but a lot of us are scared to go out because of the jobs. Vacationers, no, not where I am. No. Cleveland's they go to more than Fleetwood. I mean, Fleetwood's got hotels as such. Well, boarding houses on the seafront. But there's nothing to do in Fleetwood. There's no, there's no attractions. I mean, there's Blackpool's just further up the coast if you like that sort of thing, but I don't like Blackpool. It's very tatty. Blackpool is tatty. I don't know why people like going to Blackpool. I think hen nights like going to Blackpool, and Blackpool's full of dropouts and druggies hanging on street corners. Puts me right off. I wished I'd have gone. I mean, it's the same with a lot of seaside towns in England. I mean, Rill used to be fantastic in Wales, and it's gone downhill. And every day I'm reading about somewhere where, you think, oh, I bet it'd be lovely to live, to live there, and they're going, oh, it's awful, the druggies have come and homeless and stuff. I mean, like Manchester, we used to have beautiful Piccadilly gardens. It was all grass and flowers, and it was beautiful and gorgeous. And now you wouldn't want to go anywhere near Piccadilly Gardens. It's full of alcoholic dropouts, homeless people, people off their head on spice. I even if I go to Manchester, I will avoid Piccadilly Gardens. I won't go anywhere near it. And yet, at one time, I used to go and get a sandwich and sit there and look at the fountains, admire the flowers. And you wouldn't go near it now. It's all stabbings and. Ugh. It's the same in any big town, though. Any big town. I'm not just slagging Fleetwood off. It's the same in Blackpool. It's the same in Manchester. It's the same in lots of other places. It's just being ruined. I mean, I always thought of Brighton as being lovely and that. And then I read an article, saying certain parts of Brighton are just full of homeless people and dropouts and stuff. No, I know. I mean, There's certain people who are homeless that you feel sorry for, and then there's other people who are homeless because of their addictions. You know, and I mean, they get themselves into them. I'm sorry, but they do. Sorry to say, oh, you should be sympathetic to people. They start it, don't they? They must know when they get into these things that, you know, it doesn't, there's no happy ending, is there? If you start taking cocaine, there's no happy ending. You know which way it's going to go. They'll find you dead in a corner somewhere, you know. But still, I'll just keep eating my chocolate. That's my drug of choice. Yeah, I'm not calling one place because everywhere's the same. It's like, where do you move to? Unless you've got absolutely tons and tons of money and you can get somewhere really posh where nobody can afford to, you know, be a dropout. Yeah. Yeah, chocolate's my vice. Yeah. That's my drug of choice, chocolate. Which I've actually got some crisps, potato chips, if you're in America, which I'm going to eat in a minute. I'm going to crunch, crunch, crunch on my no tooth. I'd like to know where it went, though. Yeah, it's not even a UK thing. I mean, I've got a friend who tells me about these awful things that happen in America, and I go, well, it's the same over here. We may not have as many guns over here, but we still get, you know, people shot. You know, people are not allowed to have guns, but that doesn't mean to say they don't have them. There's always the criminal element that will find a gun. But it's all the knives that everybody's carrying around. It's for my protection. No, stop carrying. If everybody stopped carrying them, then you wouldn't have to carry a knife for protection, would you? Rumble, rumble, rumble. I heard the thunder. Or my daughter-in-law reversing up the drive. If you hear the dogs barking in a minute, you know it's my daughter-in-law. She's gone to a pantomime, I think. One of her granddaughters has got, it's her birthday. So they've gone to a pantomime. You've been in Fleetwood. Where did you go in Fleetwood that was lovely? Come on, tell me. Which part of Fleetwood did you think was lovely? And I'll go and look for it. Car horn, it's a taxi. My daughter-in-law, I think. Either that or next door going out in a taxi. I've never smoked. Well, when you're a teenager, you try, don't you? But I'm amazed how much it costs. It's either my daughter-in-law coming in the back way or a very bold robber. I would think it's my daughter-in-law. If you hear the doggies barking in a minute, you'll know. I've got Walkers ready salted today. Yes, my daughter-in-law. I'm surprised the dogs aren't barking. Rosie usually barks if a sparrow barks in the next street. Yeah, you still got to tell me where you thought Fleetwood was nice. Which bit of it did you see and how long ago was it? I'm still waiting. At the moment, we've got to see you can't go in because of a sewage leak. We've got E. coli in the sea at the moment. Whoopie do. I've never been to. I haven't been to many places in the UK, you know. My light's flashing again. I really haven't been to many places in the UK. I've been to, you know, like holiday places, like, you know, Tenby and St Ives, places like that. I've not tended to go upwards. Come on, my knit saloon. I'm still waiting for you to tell me where's Lovely in Fleetwood. We didn't even get the transport festival. It got cancelled because of the bad weather. I would have liked like a Miss Marple type village. But there's never any public transport anymore. Or we're not having a car, you're a bit marooned, aren't you? A lot of these lovely little villages now, they don't even have a shop. No, I've never had a desire to go to like London or anything. Manchester, I only ever used to go because it was my hometown, wasn't it? So I'm used to it. But I wouldn't like to go in after dark. I only used to go in the daytime. And then I used to stay away from certain areas in Manchester, yeah. Well, I hope your 7K population behaves itself. I don't think we've got a lot of people living here, but I live on the outskirts of Fleetwood, almost into Cleveland. I wouldn't like to live in the town centre. If I still drove, I think I would have loved a little village. You know, a little cottage in a village. If they had a shop. A lot of places don't even have a pub or anything. You know, they're really back in beyond, yeah. Yeah, Yorkshire is nice. Lots of places in Yorkshire are nice. Should have gone there. Although I'm a Lancastrian, you see. War of the Roses and all that jazz. I can admire Yorkshire. But, you know, there's the white rose and the red rose, isn't it? I mean, where Sue lives, it's pretty sort of off the beaten track. But they both have a car, you see, so. Come on, my, I'm still trying to find out where you found Fleetwood nice. I'm still trying to work out where you must have been. Mm-hmm. When you said Fleetwood was nice, I'm still trying to find out where you went that was nice. It's nice in St Anne's, you know, when you get the other side of Blackpool. It's nice in Poulton the Fylde. I'm still trying to work out where you saw it was nice. I like places like Chester, you know, and York and places like that. They'd be nice to live there, but so expensive. Yeah, that's beautiful in York. And wouldn't be any good for me on my mobility scooter, you know, them cobbles. But apart from that, it looks nice. Why am I doing that to you? Why am I? I'm only asking you. You said Fleetwood was nice. I'm only asking you where, where you went to that was nice. You were the one who said it was nice in Fleetwood. I would love to go to York, but there's too many ups and downs and steps. Lizzie, you need to follow what's she called? Little Drops are Wonderful, but not the knitting channel. The other one she does, where she goes with her family and she goes all over the place. She visits some really nice places. You haven't done anything. You just said it was nice in Fleetwood, and I'm asking you where did you see whether it was nice in Fleetwood? You haven't done anything except saying it was lovely in Fleetwood, and I wanted to know how you knew and where was it. So I was ready to cry over it. I just thought you'd visited and thought it was wonderful. No, there's nowhere around here that's of. Manchester's got lots of lovely places. Even Prestwich. Yeah, I think maybe that's what she's getting confused with. Maybe she thinks Fleetwood's in America or somewhere. Yeah, the alternative channel. If you like old-fashioned places and nice picturesque things, follow that lady, you know, follow Ali, she's called, isn't she, Ali? Follow Ali on this little wonderful life. If you like looking at places in England that are picturesque. And there's a lot of lovely, lovely places that I've never visited. Fleetwood is in England. When did he come? My. When did he come here? Did he come here a long time ago? Have you ever been here? Norfolk's nice. We went to Norfolk Broads once. That was nice. There's loads of places I've never been that I would love to go. Mostly down south, I must admit, where it's a bit warmer. I like Devon and Cornwall. But you can't live down there because there's just nothing. My sister-in-law's sister lives in a beautiful place, but they need a car. And they're getting on. I mean, they're getting up for 80 odd now. So they're thinking that they're going to have to move, when there's... because there's no public transport. So when they have to stop driving, they think they're going to have to move. My sister-in-law's just moved into London itself. Don't think I'd... Well, on the outskirts of London, but I don't think I'd want to do that. But at least she doesn't need a car because she can hop on the train, hop on the tram or whatever it is. The tram line here just goes to Fleetwood, to Blackpool, to Fleetwood, to Blackpool. The tram in Manchester goes everywhere. And who on earth wants to go to Blackpool? Not I. Oh, I couldn't go in. I've not been to London for 20, 30 years. Oh, no, it's too busy. Yeah. I love London in the fact, if you go to like the Victoria and Albert Museum, the art gallery and things like that. But I can't walk there anymore. Hey, Munchkin. So I can't do it. So I have my memories to look back on. I used to love the V&A, the Victoria and Albert Museum. I never went to the Science Museum. I always wanted to go there. I never did. And of course, I was the era that went down Carnaby Street. That was a fantastic. I mean, it's nothing now, but it used to be fantastic, Carnaby Street. It was when it was full of the boutiques and everything. I mean, now it's probably just all tourism. Then there was Camden Market and places like that where you could get all vintage clothing and everything. And then I used to love Covent Garden. It's not the same now. You like the Camden Market, did you? Yeah. Used to have these second-hand, stalls and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been up Baker Street. Yeah, walked up there when I could walk. I used to walk miles when I was younger. I went down to London to stay with my uncle. Yeah, they don't like Fleetwood. If I ask anybody, they all say, "Why the hell did we move here?" Even the people who were born here don't like Fleetwood anymore. It's just, yeah. If you ask me why I moved to Fleetwood, I didn't know the place. If I'd have known the place, I would never have come here. Everybody asks me that question, that live in Fleetwood. Why the hell did you come here? What made you choose Fleetwood? No, but nobody seems to understand why we moved here. Local people say, "Why did you pick Fleetwood? Why?" I mean, even they know the drawbacks with it. I mean, a lot of the people who live here that were born here are stuck here because they haven't got the money to move. If I won the lottery, I'd be out of here like a rocket. I've never ever wanted to go to Vegas or New York. I've never even wanted to go to America. It's never, even when I was mobile and I had a bit of money, I never really wanted to go to America. I like Europe better. I'd like to be somewhere like Italy or somewhere, or Greece. I love Greece. I mean, Lizzie's from Greece and she doesn't want to be there, but I love Greece. The Greek people are wonderful. Bye, Cass. Enjoy your work. Not. No, I've never wanted a camper van. I'm too ladylike for a camper van. I've always wanted a round the world cruise, you know, on a luxury liner, of course. Can you get some beauty sleep for me as well, Kaz? I'm feeling a bit old and wrinkly today. So can you get some? Have an extra sleep for me. I have enough sleep. I don't know what happens. It certainly doesn't work. And I'm certainly not going to Turkey for any Botox. See Katie Price's bin again. God knows that nose of hers must be. Hello, word be true. I'm hoping not to have any more accidents, but I can never guarantee it. It takes me all the time. Staying on 2 feet is at feet. You'd think I was on ice skates, wouldn't you? I'm very wobbly all the time. You know, like as if I was on drunk. My son says, stop having gin for your breakfast, mother. Shan't be a fine thing. Why the blue hand, Nathan? It sort of looks like a mad Statue of Liberty, doesn't it? That blue hand in the air. I never understand these emojis. They probably mean things that I don't understand. That looks like talk to the hand, Jane. You don't understand emojis. I don't. I'm way behind the times. And also, a lot of people on Facebook have said, stop putting GIFs and things like that on, because it fills up the Facebook, doesn't it? You know, people who put these things about that wide as a comment. I don't get that many, but I mean, I can understand somebody who's very, very popular, who's got like loads and loads of followers and stuff, getting all these big gifts about that big. Oh, I've got 37 thumbs up and there's 60 people in the room. Come on, come on, come on. That's only half of you. I'm feeling unloved. If you want me to feel loved, give me some thumbs up. Oh. Oh, were you one of the ones that didn't do it, Jane? Thumbs up. Oh, it's getting better. I've got 40 now. Oh, dear. I come on here every Saturday for nothing, you know. I don't get paid a performance fee. All I expect is a thumbs up. You don't pay me for this, you know. I'm not one of these people with the Patreon or Patreon or whatever the heck it's called. You know, join me and you can join my... No, you get me for free. How long does it take me to do my makeup? Probably about 5 minutes. Why does it look like I'm doing it in 5 minutes? Do you know, I only wear it now on a Saturday because I've still got problems with my eyes. Bums in the air. Not bums in the air, thumbs in the air, I said. Right, I'm having a rum cola tonight. In other words, they've waved a bit of rum over some Coca-Cola. Mascara, eyeliner, and yeah, as my little boy used to call it, cascara for some reason. Eyeliner, eyeshadow, yeah, a lot. But I can't wear it every day because it affects me. Makes me. I've got this dry eye, which when you know you've got dry eye, it means you cry the whole time and it drips down your face. Yeah. Under eye concealer, no, just all over light foundation. I don't wear under eye concealer, no. You can tell, can't you? The crepey bits. Ugh. I'm not doing so bad for 77, am I? For goodness sakes, I've not got many wrinkles. Mine is, I've got crepey bits, not dark circles so much. It's just like crepe. And some days when I get up, they're just like puff balls, you know. But what do we expect, you know? At least I don't have pimples. That's one thing I never had. I never had acne. Thank goodness for that. Never had acne. I used to get an odd pimple now and again. But I've never been blighted with acne. I feel sorry for people who do. Yeah, one of my friends, she tried everything on the book, you know, to get rid of them and stuff. I wish I could wear it every day. I used to wear it every day. I used to always, well, when I worked in the public eye kind of thing, you have to look your best, don't you? But since I've retired, I wear it less and less. And also, since I've had the eye problem, I've had to wear it less and less. I don't think my cataract surgery likes eye makeup. Oh, you don't get me live? Oh, you poor thing. No, you're very lucky, actually. You don't catch me live, yeah. Dress up for you? No, I dress up for me. If I wasn't doing a video, I would still have this on. The eye makeup, yes, I do admit, I do put the eye makeup on a Saturday. But the clothing, no. I dress like this whether I'm on, on or not, yeah. I always dress like this. My beads are getting in the way of me knitting. Yeah, I've always dressed up. Well, not dressed up, but I've always dressed. I don't own a pair of jeans, and I don't own a pair of tracksuit bottoms or leggings. It's just not in my wardrobe. But as I said before, it's whatever people want to wear, they wear, and I want to wear this. So this is why I do. I'm happy getting dressed up. Yeah. I used to love the shirt wasters, you know, with the little nipped-in waist, and we used to have the bouffants and everything. That was my era. Black and white. It was actually a dress. It's a full-length dress. Yeah. This is black today, but it's got grey around the edge of the jacket, and it's got grey around the edge of the dress at the bottom. It's a two-piece. It's a dress and a jacket. I've had it for ever and a day. If I have something that I like, I tend to keep it. I'm very vintage, very second-hand rose, yeah. Oh, of course, yeah, you know. I've always been like this from being young. It's just how you are. If you're that type of person, then you do that, don't you? Yeah, I'm very boho, yeah. If you're not that type of person, then you're not. You know, it wouldn't do for us all to be the same, would it? You know, it wouldn't do for everybody to dress, you know, like the Barbie movies. But when I look at the way Barbie's, I've only seen the trailer for that Barbie movie, but the dress she had on, those were the dresses I used to wear when I was growing up. Yeah. Hi, Janet. I used to, you know, wear those like shirt-waisted dresses with the wide, you know, belts around the waist and, you know, the back-combed hairdo and everything. And about 6 tons of lacquer, you know, because I've never had really thick hair. So to get mine to back comb and stay up was a miracle, you know. Yeah, it was just the era it was, just the way I was brought up. Depends how you always dressed, doesn't it? I've always said that, you know, I just could not walk about in sweatpants and a t-shirt. Oh, there's the doggies barking. I don't actually own a t-shirt. Do you know that? Do not own a t-shirt. Yeah, I'm just weird, I guess. It's just the way I dress. And I don't own a polo shirt, you know, with the little buttons and the collars. Don't own one of them. I would love to dress even more boho, but of course my pocketbook does not have that kind of finances in anymore, sadly. So I'm not as boho as I would like to be. And even though I'm all in black, I'm not a goth. Never been a goth. No, I've never, even when I was younger, I never had a t-shirt because I never wore jeans, you see. My friends used to think I was very odd because I never owned jeans. I think in my lifetime I've owned two pairs of jeans, I think, in my lifetime. But I know people who love jeans and just live in jeans all the time. It's just what you feel comfy in, and that's the end of it, really, isn't it? I never advocate that everybody's got to wear what I wear. Although I do like people to make an effort, if you know what I mean. I don't like it when they look as though they've rolled out of bed in their pyjamas and gone shopping. You know, I like people to have made a bit of an effort. At least get washed, dressed, and put something on that's clean and decent, you know. I like men in jeans if they've got a good butt. If they haven't, no, don't bother. You know, I don't like guys with a flat bottom. You know what I mean? wearing jeans now. If you can fill out a pair of jeans, you know, nice. But I don't like to see overweight ladies in jeans. No. What am I knitting? I'm knitting a cardigan. It's actually purple. Oh, you can see it a bit better there. It's actually purple and pink, but it looks very brown. No, I don't like to see plus size ladies wearing jeans. Not a pretty sight from the back, yeah. Well, it's better than leggings, in it? Oh, ooh. I know you're not supposed to say things about ladies who are on the large side, but please no leggings. Leggings and a crop top. I feel like saying, please, will you just cover up, woman? You're the wrong side of 40 anyway. You're the wrong side of 20 stone. Yeah. La, 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 la. I'm on the increase row now. Oh, it's chunky, that's why. It's growing quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to increase on the way up. Yeah. So I don't know whether I've got to enough. I'll count them. I'll count when I get to the end of the row. You can tell it's a vintage pattern, can't you? With shaping. How long have I been on YouTube altogether, you mean? Do you know, I've never counted it up. I think somebody said I've been on about 9 years, 10 years. I had my spinal operation in 2008. So I can't remember if I was on the YouTube when I had it done. I don't think I was. So, I don't know. Chris is always the one who tells me how long I've been on things. I'm not one of these that puts episode 146 or anything like that. October 2011. See, I knew somebody would tell me. Gosh, that's a long time, isn't it? I mean, if it was October 23, I've been on it then 12 years. Oh, sheesh. That's an awfully long time. Yeah, I wasn't on it then when I had my spinal up, because I had my spinal up in 2008. So, oh, that's a big lump, isn't it, in the middle of my work? 2011. I should write that down, Nathan. Before that, I used to have a written blog. Oh, Sue. Yeah, Sue was always with me. Oh, Kelly. Not R. Kelly. Kelly. It's in my page about YouTube, is it? Oh, right. Gosh. No, I used to have a written blog long before that I used to write every week. And I was on that. How is Kelly? I have no idea. Not heard from her, not seen her, she's not done any videos. I have no idea how she is. We lost touch ages ago. We not fell out or anything. We just lost touch. You know, when I moved away and she got a job and, you know, we kind of lost touch, really. Sue's fine. I speak to Sue at least a couple of times a week, yeah. She's busy doing her garden at the moment. She's got this humongous garden. So she was busy doing that. she was pulling up ivy and you know, those weirdy, creepy things that creep into your hedges and stuff. Calendula, is it called? It looks very pretty, but it's very winds itself round and kills everything. I think it's called calendula. Yeah, she's got fruit trees and all sorts. Yeah. Are you going now? Bye, Yolanda. Yeah, I am hoping. I keep hoping to go and see her, but you know, she will move to Scotland. Never forgiven her for that, you know. When your best friend tells you she's going to Scotland in a fortnight, you know. I knew she wanted to retire up there, but she wasn't even, um, you know, retiring age. She's still not retiring age now. She's a lot younger than me. So, you know, I thought, oh, I've got years till she gets to like 60, whatever. But no, she found this place and decided to go in her 50s, which I was not waiting for that. I thought I had at least until she was about 65. Yeah, she's happy up there. She loves it up there. Yeah, she's got a little job. She just does a job 2 or 3 mornings a week. She does a little job. Because she's, you know, still not old enough for an old age pension. She's a lot younger than me. So she needed a few pennies. So she has to go back to work. I think her husband's older than her. But I'm not kind of a nosy person. I used to have a friend. I won't mention her name, but I used to have a friend. And I used to say, oh, that's so and so across the road. And she used to say, where does he work? I said, I don't know. Well, you know, you live across the road from us. I said, yeah, I know. How long has he lived across the road from me? About 10 years. Well, where does he work? I said, I don't know. Where does his wife work? I don't know. I'm not one of these like nosy people that says, you know, oh, hello, I'm Janet, where do you work? You know, I never have been. I mean, I've had friends for years and I don't even know their second name. You know, it's just the way it is, isn't it? If you're not a nosy person, you know, it's. I'm kind of, well, I used to be kind of a bit of a curtain twitcher, although I didn't have any nets when I lived in outside because I was like lonely. I was on my own. And anybody that went past the bay window, you know, it was like you watched them go down the street, you know. Anybody having furniture delivered, oh, that's a nice suite they're having delivered at number 23. That's nice. But apart from that, you know, I never asked people what they did for a living or anything like that. You know, sort of stuff like that. You'd ask them what the name of the dog was, wouldn't you, and things like that. What's on my needles is a cardigan. I'm knitting for a change. It's a very old pattern. Very, very old pattern. Yeah, I believe you can still get it on Etsy. Not from me, of course, but, you know, I believe you can still get a PDF. Sheila tickles me when she says that. I'm doing a PDF. Right, I have to get my magnification because I don't know where my reader glasses are to see what I've got to do next. I've got to do till I've got 80 stitches and then knit till it measures 13 and a half. Because it's only a shorty cardigan. It's like, you know, the old golden oldie cardigans used to be quite short, yeah. They were never like, you know, bum. It tickles me when I see these things on there. Loads and loads of people put on, oh yeah, that's a lovely, not to me, I'm talking about to another designer, like, oh, that's a lovely, lovely pattern, but it's got no pockets. And I'm like, what's this obsession with things having pockets? You know, why do you need pockets in your cardigans and your jackets and stuff? For we're women, we have a handbag. We don't stuff our pockets full of all sorts. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. God, I can't do it now. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72, 74, 76, 78, 80. I've got enough. It's knit one pearl, one the other ribbon at the bottom. It's quite a deep rib. It's got a 3.5-inch rib, which they used to do in the older patterns. Yeah, I've got 80 stitches on. I'm right. I've got to do 13.5 inches now, and then I'm right. It's confusing me a bit because the needles are purple. Hi, Magali. And the wool's purple. So I'm finding it difficult to count because it's all the same colour. Oh dear. We've got no John tonight. John's not coming, has he? The doggies are coming down the stairs. Rosie came in, but Tricia shut the door again. Rosie always has to come busting in, flying in. It's like 5 minutes of fame. Hi, I'm Rosie. I'm here. I've got my danglers on tonight. Dingle dangle. Be right back. We shall see you later then, Jane. It's got these thick and thin blobs in my knitting. You know, the dark bits there are all thicker. Blobs. Huh. Your summer hobby. Well, it's a bit hot, isn't it, over there for your summer hobby? They fish on the seafront here. Usually when it's the wilder the better they fish. I said to one young lad, do you catch much? And he said, well, no, not really. He said, but it's 3 hours away from the wife. I thought, oh, pity. 3 hours of peace and quiet away from the wife. Oh, mosquitoes. Scotland's a bit like that. It's not mosquitoes with Scotland, it's midges. My ex-husband used to get bitten to bits and used to leave me alone. He never bit me. It was the same when I went to Turkey. The girl in the same place as us, she was bitten to death. And she says to me, how come you don't get bitten? I went, I don't know. Just don't bite me. But my ex-husband, God, he used to dive bomb him. They must have loved his blood. Yeah, this poor girl when we were on holiday in Turkey, and she blisters like that from being bitten. I mean, the rep said to her, when you go home, you should go straight to A&E. He said you need some really strong antibiotics for them bites. But they never touched me. They stayed away. I took loads of repellent and everything like that as well, but they didn't come near me. I wonder how many inches I've done. I think I've got a tape measure. That's my son. Ah, Jake, worse than me. He has hay fever though. I have hay fever when nobody else does. I'm allergic to tree pollen, which is in the first couple of months of the year. Everybody else is allergic to grass and things like that. No, when we went to Turkey, as I say, they never touched me. The girl I was, well, the cousin that was with, she got bitten. Because I went to Turkey when my marriage was breaking up. I went with my cousin. Well, she's not technically my cousin, but we call her my cousin. She's sort of vague family, if you know what I mean. You've all got these aunties and cousins that aren't really your cousins, haven't you? And she was bitten, but I wasn't. Right, let's see how many inches I have knitted. And see how many more inches I have to knit. I reckon I've got about 11 or 12 inches there. That's my estimate, my guesstimate. Let's see how right or wrong I am. Probably be about 10 inches or something now. My guesstimate is 11 inches. My guesstimate was wrong. It's only 10 inches. Oh, you're going, are you? You're leaving us now. Word be true. Okie dokie. Hope to see you soon. No, I've only done 10 inches and I've got to do 13 and a half. So I've got to knit a bit more now. A bit more knitting. I've got a drawer full of those receipts, you know, you get at the post office when you post something. I've always got the dread of if I throw them out, somebody's going to say, I never got my parcel. I'll wait another couple of weeks, and then I'll throw them away. What time is? Oh, 11:15. That's one thing I can't do. That's what I've done. I can't move my neck. I think I must have ricked it a bit when I fell. I have to turn my whole body to see what time it is. Can't turn my head. Maybe I shall take me 2 painkillers when I go to bed tonight. I don't like taking painkillers, as I said before. I don't like being drugged up and groggy, but I don't mind if I'm going to sleep now. Rosie, the little monkey, she come down. Was it last night? And she wanted to go out, so she came to tell me she wanted to go out. So I opened the back door, let her out, and then when I came back, I thought I'll just nip in the loo before I go back. When I came back, she got me ball of wool all round the lounge. She's a demon. She loves balls of wool. And I think I told you she loves crochet hooks. She's bitten me crochet hook. I've had to order a new one. It's not coming till the end of July because I have to order them from America. She's bitten. She's bitten on the crochet hook. Look, nibbled it all. Bitten it. So I have to make sure I put my crochet hooks away and all my balls of wool away before I go to bed. It's like when you're tired and you have to start tidying up before you go to bed. Hey Chris, I've done the same thing. Yeah. One time when I did my back, I was trying to put my underwear on, you know. I had one leg in, tried to put the second leg in, and I fell over. Right, bye, Isaac. See you later. Yeah, you know, I had a friend who, oh, here she comes. Hello, Rosie. Hello. Come to say hello, darling. Don't you be nibbling my ball of wool? Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy and Mummy? Hang on a minute, I'll let her out. What are you doing, Rose? What are you doing, Rosie? Rosie, there's nothing to eat. Now go on and find Mummy. Go find Mummy. Hey, where's your Mummy? Where's your Mummy? Where's she? Where's Mummy? Are you going to find Mummy? No, I'm not your Mummy. I'm not your Mummy, honeybee. Yes, you're very beautiful. Yes, you are. You are very, very beautiful. But I think your Mummy needs you. No, there's nothing to eat there, Rosie. Come on, off you go. Off you go. Oh, go find Mummy. Go find Mummy. Where's Mummy? Where's Mummy? Where's your Mummy? Exit Rosie, stage left. Oh, see, I told you it's got a pattern on around the bottom of the skirt. I had to convince her that her mummy wanted her. Oh, hi, B. Seda. You're British and you're living in Texas. Oh, thank you. Oh, hi, V. We should call you V then. Now the dog comes in, opens the door. But that means that you can all hear the TV from upstairs because it gets very, very loud. And YouTube's a bit peculiar. If they can hear any music or anything like that, they put a flag up on my video. I don't know why, but they do. I know it's copyright reasons, isn't it? But, you know, you can't always help it, can you? I got copyrighted one time when I lived in Prestwich. I was filming going up to Prestwich, and a car came past me with the window down, and he was playing music very loudly. It was like a split second as he passed me by, and yeah, I got flagged. They muted my whole video. Waste of time having a video with no sound, isn't it? You know, how can I describe what I was driving past when they muted me? Like it was my fault, you know, he drove past me with his radio on, or whatever it was. It wasn't me that was playing it, I wasn't singing it. And yet other people seem to have music on all the time on their videos, and they don't get pulled. It's like they have this algorithm or whatever it is, that whoop, bit of music there, whoop, bit of music. I used to watch a lady years and years ago, and she always had the TV blaring in the background all the time she was on. Nobody ever pulled her. Perhaps things have changed now. I can see the new horizon. Our internet keeps going funky. I think I told you earlier on, people who came in late wouldn't know. It just threw it down, absolutely threw it down, like bouncing. And then it stopped. It lasted about not even 5 minutes. It was just thundering it down with rain. And how it could do that, woof, and then stop, I don't know. It's not been back since. That was really strange. Because I heard this drumming noise. I thought, what on earth is that? And then my son said to me, did you just see all that rain? And I went, no, but I heard it. Well, it was you that made the earthquake, was it, Jane? You fell over. No, I fell over yesterday. Did you take the wardrobe door with you when you went, though, Jane? Because I took the wardrobe door with me when I fell. I had to go spectacularly, didn't I? And it was the one with the mirror in as well, so it's a darn good job the mirror didn't break. As Ariane said, well, at least your mirror didn't break. No, just ripped the wardrobe door off its hinges, but the mirror didn't break. So you just fell over as well, have you, Jane? You're a copycat, just because I fell over. No, oh, goodness gracious. You can definitely have some of our rain. We're the wrong side of this Gulf thing. That's why we get all the rain and you get all the... Oh, you've got thunderstorm and hail. Oh, dear, Shad. Well, send some rain to V, because she needs some rain. It's funny, isn't it? Half the world's begging for some rain and the other half's trying to get rid of it. We ran out of money with the house renovation, so we never got around to doing the driveway on the front of the garden. So it just goes like a duck pond when it rains. But they weren't so much. You've got matching bruises. I haven't looked. I don't wish to, go with a mirror to my rear end just to see if there's any bruises. I'd rather not know. So far, I can only see one, and that's on my arm. So I've not really, I got off lightly. The bottom of my back hurts like mad. And obviously my BTM, yeah, because that's where you hit the floor. I hit the floor, yeah. I overbalanced. I was putting the laundry away, Jane, and I overbalanced. Landed on my backside, banged me back and me whatever, went backwards as usual, but took the door with me because the door was open. And the door's so close to my bed, you see, I just fell against the door. The door came, really good modern furniture, that's held on with little 1/4-inch nail screws, yeah. So I took the wardrobe door and the mirror with me when I went. So I'm laying on the floor shouting, help! It wasn't the fact that I couldn't get up, but it was the fact I had the wardrobe door on top of me. Good job it wasn't the old-fashioned furniture, otherwise I might have been deaded. If it was the good old, old-fashioned heavy wardrobe. If that door had hit me, I would have known about it. So far I've got one bruise. What is it? Little bruise. It's hardly a bruise, is it? A little bruise. There. Hardly much. That's the only one I've found so far. There might be more around the back. But as I say, I'm not about to get a mirror out and start having a look. Well, I can't anyway because the mirror's in the other room now, propped up against the wall. How long it will be there for, I don't know. My son said he thinks he can fix it, but he's working all next week, so it won't be fixed next week, will it? So I lie in bed looking at my clothes now because there's no door. Good job I'm tidy, isn't it? Good job on my wardrobe's tidy and not just a pile of stuff on the floor. Irene told me off today because I've ordered those little scrubber things for the bathroom, for the tiles. I can't scrub them. I haven't got any power in my hand. So I ordered one of those little rotary scrubber things. It runs, you charge it up, a USB. And he goes, you don't half waste your money. I like my bathroom to be, the shower, to be clean. And if I can't scrub it by hand, I bought a scrubbing brush and everything, but I can't. I just don't have the power in my hands anymore to scrub. So he says I've wasted money. I don't think I've got it on charge now, so when he's at work next week and my daughter-in-law's in Scotland, I'll have a good time scrubbing the tiles and scrubbing the shower, the shower tray. So I think it's a good idea. You want to be hygienic, don't you? You don't want like soapy bits in the grout. I can't scrub it. I just can't. I mean, years back I used to do it. Stand in the shower and do it every week. But these, I just don't have the power in my hands anymore. But I am not going to stand on any chairs. It's only going to get cleaned as far as I can reach. I am standing on nothing. I don't want to be falling over when Ian's at work and Trish is in Scotland. I don't think the dogs can pick me up. So it'll be like there'll be a tide mark where I can reach. And if I've wasted money and if they can see that there's a difference, that one bit of the tiles is whiter than the other, I shall say, be my guest. There you are, you're taller. Yeah. No, I don't want to look at my back just to see if there's any bruises. I'd rather not know. I get very technical when I have bruising, so I don't like to, oh, look at that, it's gone blue. Oh, it's gone yellow now. Oh, it's all brown now. I'd rather not know if there was any bruises there. I do tend to bruise rather easily, so it could look very dramatic. I remember once my ex-husband grabbed my arm. And my mum said to me the following day, she said, who's grabbed you? She said, they must have pressed on hard. And I went, oh, and I had a perfect handprint. And he hadn't, actually. That's the one thing my ex wasn't. He wasn't physically violent. He hadn't done. All he did was go like that to move me somewhere because I was in his way. And I had handprints on either side, bruises, big bruises. She thought he'd, but he hadn't. I just bruise very easily. I remember tripping up once, so I was going to the toilet in the dark. Don't ask me why I didn't put the light on. And I just went with my corner of my eye there, landed on the corner of the radiator as I tripped. Oh, God, you'd have thought I'd been in a fight the day after. The eye came up, I had to go to work. I mean, they knew my ex-husband had gone by then, so they knew it wasn't him. And they're going, what on earth did you do? I said, I just tripped up and just caught me And I didn't even buff it. I just caught my eye on the corner of the radiator. You'd have thought I'd been in a boxing ring. What I am going to do is get in there. She lives in the middle of nowhere. It's not a question of just like hopping on a train. If she lived anywhere Maine where I could get a train and get to, but she doesn't live anywhere near anywhere. She's in the middle of no place. I am going to stay in an Airbnb, but she's in the middle of renovating her house, so she's kind of not, and she's working half the time, so she hasn't got a lot of time really at the minute. She keeps saying, let me know, and I'll take some time off work and that. And I will. I'm trying to get to see Sue this year. But at the moment, I'm just going to go back to Prestwich at the end of next month. I'm only going for a couple of days, just so I can go to Berry Market and go and have a look around Manchester. See my favourite chip shop. Hope he doesn't decide he's on a week's holiday or something the weekend I go. And there's a lovely Italian restaurant in Prestwich that I've told my niece we're going. Because I'm only there 2 nights. I'll be there Friday night, Saturday night, and coming back Sunday. So one night I'm going to have fish and chips, and the other night I'm going to go to the Italian restaurant. We've got it all planned out. How did I meet Sue? At a knit club in Bolton, would you believe? She'd followed me on... Yeah, she'd followed me on YouTube, I think. And she said to me, which knit club do you go to? So I told her. And at the time, she was working full-time, and she was working shift work because she worked in the looking after elderly people. And she came and we really got on, when we were just chatting that particular day. And then she kept messaging me and saying, oh, I can't come to the knit club because I'm working that weekend. I can't come. So she rode up in Darwin at the time. And I said to her, oh, why don't you come down? Come down to my house, yeah? If you can't come to knit club. So I've known her probably about 10 years now. And she used to come and visit me, at least every other week when she wasn't working. But then she moved to Scotland and I've only seen her 2 or 3 times since, yeah. I saw her more when I lived in Manchester because her daughter lived round the corner. So she used to come down to see her daughter and then she used to call in to see me. But of course now I've come to Fleetwood, I'm out of the way. I'm not on the route anymore. Not on a pathway back home again. Yes, she lives not far from the Hoof GP. He lives in the middle of nowhere as well. No, it was funny. I said to her, I've been watching this bloke, the Hoof GP. And I said, I'm sure he was somewhere near you. Where's she? Well, the last time she went to visit her daughter, they went to Anglesey, would you believe? Her daughter had a caravan at Anglesey. I don't know whether she's bought a caravan at Anglesey or whether she just rented it. But Sue and her husband went, well, I call him a husband. They've been together about 25 years. They're not married, but I call him a husband. He's as good as, isn't he? Just because they never did the legalities, yeah. So they went to Anglesey. My bridesmaid lives in Anglesey, but I've lost touch with her. She's not on Facebook. She's not on anywhere I know. I can't find her anywhere. I lost her letters when I... Oh, look at that big thick lump. I lost her letters when I moved here. I found one letter in my old photographs, but it was with her old address in Nottingham, and since she left there about 15 years ago, I don't think it's any good writing to her there, you know. I just can't find her. I looked on that, you know, where you can look up phone numbers and that. She's ex-directory. Her husband was a QC, you see, so I think he's... I can't Google it. I can't remember her address at all. All I know is she lived in Anglesey, which is a big place. I've got a photograph she sent me. I've got a letter she sent me, but that's got her old address in Nottingham, which she doesn't live there anymore. But, you know, he's not in... He's ex-directory because, of course, he was a QC. Rosie, hello again. What are you doing? Eh? What are you doing, Rosie? No, there's no flies. Are you staying with me, or are you going back to Mummy? Eh? Can you see her? Eh? You're going back to Mummy. What do you want? Hmm? There's no fly for you to chase. She says, I'll just have a scratch. Rosie, what are you doing? I wish you'd learn to shut the flipping door. Go to Mummy. Go to Mummy. If you want a wee, tell your Mummy. I can't keep going out with you every 5 minutes. She cons me. She says she wants a wee, and then when I take her out, she just wants to bark at everything. Go on, off to your Mummy. Go on, off to your mum. Go to your mum. No, I'm not letting you out. If you want to go out, you have to ask your Mummy. What's betting she'll be back in about 2 seconds because she hasn't gone upstairs. She's gone to be let out. It's quite a way. It's not... In England, everywhere is small roads, transport difficulties. So for me to go up to see Sue, I'd either have to get a lift in a car because the train doesn't go anywhere near and neither does the bus. So if I got the train to Scotland, I still wouldn't be anywhere near where she lived, yeah. So it's not that far as the crow flies, probably, you know, for people who have... Yeah. Oh, no, my friend in Anglesey, her husband was a Queen's counsellor. So he did a lot of murder trials and different things like that. So he will be keeping his head down and keeping his address very, very private. So I can't Google them or look them up. She's not on Facebook. She's not on LinkedIn. She's not on anywhere. So I can't find her. And I've asked a few friends and they don't know where she lives now. How far is it to Anglesey? I don't know. I've not been for years. I don't drive anymore. So I don't know how far it is to Anglesey. But it's a big, big place. So it's not like you can land in Anglesey and say, right, do you know this lady? Because I don't think anybody would. So sadly, I've lost touch with her. And the only address she's got of mine is my old address. And I would imagine the people who live there would just throw any letters in the bin. because they don't know where I live, so they can't forward them on. So if she has written to me, I mean, I had my letters forwarded to me for about 3 months when I moved, but after that I didn't pay any more to have them forwarded. So anything that came after that. So I don't know. I've lost touch with her. It's sad when you lose touch. I've just found a cousin of mine I haven't been in touch with. Saturday night rafting. Oh, well, there you go. We can all raft. Well, it's been raining, so we can all raft together. Well, they will be under the radar because when you've put a lot of people in prison for murder, you don't really want anybody to find you, do you? Now he's retired, I would imagine he's keeping a low profile. He wouldn't be the most popular person in the world, would he? Because the cases he dealt with were usually murder. You can only Google a person if they want to be Googled. 151 miles. Oh, hiya, Eric. 151 miles. It's a long way on a scooter, isn't it? I keep meaning to go and see my cousin. He lives in Nandud now. I mean, bless him, he's 93. He's very hale and healthy at the minute. But, like, you never know, do you, when they're 93? You don't know. he's very... Still riding his bicycle to get his groceries. He's given up riding the car. He says he knows he's not safe anymore. So I keep meaning to go and see him in Anglesey. Not in Anglesey, in London now. It's a bee when you've not got a car. And you're reliant on everybody to take you places. And it's like I say, Fleetwood's the back end of everywhere. If I was in Manchester, that's no problem. You can get anywhere from Manchester. You can get a train and you can go anywhere. But from Fleetwood, you're stuck, really. He's just been to Spain. He's got a villa in Spain. He's just come back. Yeah, 93, still going to Spain. Can't be bothered. He's given up the drive and he's given up his car in Spain. He was my hero when I was young. He had an MG sports car and I was about 7 years old. And I thought he was the most handsome thing I'd ever seen. He was in the Navy, so he had a tan. So he was really dark tan and black curly hair. And he drove an MG and he was my favourite cousin. I used to think he was gorgeous. It's amazing what impresses you when you're 7, isn't it? An MG sports car it was with me. Yeah, we didn't live with him because he was always away because he was in the Navy. But when he was home, we lived with his mum and dad for a while because they had this massive, massive house in Wales. So we lived with there. Yeah, we lived with his mum and dad in this huge house. My dad worked at Abergele Sanatorium, which was a TB hospital. And my mum worked in one of my auntie's wool shops. That's where she got her love for wool shops, because when we came back again to Royton, Not long after that, my mum bought a wool shop. Our first one. I think she got the bug while she was working in my auntie's wool shops. I went to a Welsh-speaking school, so I learnt a real lot, yeah. All I learnt was part of the Lord's Prayer in Welsh. That's all I ever learned. I was sat next to a little Irish lad who was a West Indian lad by the look of him, or West Indian origin, but he was Irish. But he spoke Welsh, and he used to translate the lessons for me, otherwise I wouldn't have done anything. And then we also had two little Chinese twins, little girls, whose father was a sea captain. Right in the middle of nowhere in Wales we lived. So I came back from Wales after 12 months not knowing anything because my education had not progressed one bit. Surprisingly, I had lots of best friends while I was in this little Welsh village. How can you play with people when you can't understand the word they're talking about? But I managed. But we were very, very popular because we had a generator and we also had a television, which was unheard of in this little village. No one had a television. So I was quite popular because they wanted to watch the telly. Oh, you're going, are you, Jane? Good night. Try not to fall over again, and I'll try not to fall over as well. We shall try to stay on 2 feet. Man, if you're lying down, you'll be fine, Jane, unless you fall out of bed. Oh, I've got the stability of a learner on ice skates tonight. I was even wobbling when I went into the kitchen before. I'm like, oh, what is wrong with me? I've got the wobbles. Some days I'm okay, and other days I'm really unbalanced all day long. And I don't know why. Do you know, I hope I don't run out of wool for this. I'm on my 3rd ball and I've not even got to the armholes yet. It might finish up with short sleeves, which will be a shame because I don't wear short sleeves. Never mind. Yeah. Never mind. What is the next big event? We've had the coronation, we've had everything, we've had all these. I don't know what the next big event is. August bank holiday. Knit club was great, yeah, as usual. We always have a laugh at knit club. Now I've left the awful one. Apparently it's like fisticuffs at dawn at the one I left. It's all kicking off. But I've not been there for months, years. I don't miss it at all. I still get, the tales, like I've got a spy in the midst that still tells me all the tales that go on. You try not to fall out of bed. Go, well, lasso yourself in, Jane. Fasten yourself in with your belt. The scarf, no. My friend will be going on Monday again, so she's going to ask. What they up to? Oh, arguing, falling out, I'm just staying out of it all. The kind who arguing about, oh, God knows what they argue about. They argue over something and nothing, and you're like thinking, why are they taking offence at that? It's just stupid things. Stupid things they argue about. You know, then one's saying to the other one, I want an apology before I come back. And the others are saying, well, you know, don't bother coming back because you're not getting an apology. I don't know what this she wants an apology for. I wasn't there. But apparently she wants an apology before she comes back. So I guess she's not going to come back because I guess she ain't going to get an apology. She took the ump over something somebody said, you know. It's the way of the world, and there's always somebody says something you don't agree with, but hey. Yeah, I want my scarf back. It was a nice scarf, that as well. I did used to do yoga when I was younger, when I could actually get on the floor. But if I got on the floor now, I would never get up again. I can't get up once I'm on the floor. I've got 2 duff knees and 2 duff hips, as well as the back troubles. So once I'm on the ground, that is me finished. So there is no way I could do any movements. I used to do yoga when I was younger, before I had all my problems. My friend who's a little bit more mobile than me, she was going to go and try armchair yoga. I used to do a lot of things before I used to go to water aerobics, but the roof collapsed on the baths that I went to. And it was too far for me to go to the other baths. Once again, no car, you know. So I had to stop going. I used to be able to get the tram right to the doorstep of the swimming baths where I used to do the water aerobics. But when the roof fell in, they decided that they couldn't afford to spend the money redoing the roof, so they closed it down. So we had to go to the next town, which was too far of a walk for me from the tram. So I had to stop going. I find it relaxing, Jeannie. Why do I keep calling you Jeannie? It's Jean, isn't it? I keep meaning to text message you and I keep forgetting. And when I remember it's weekend, I think, no, she'll have the kids at home and her husband will be there, so I don't text you then. Oh, they're the kind of people who argue over nothing. I think they just like to argue. You know, some people do, don't they? Some people, as my mum would say, some people go looking for trouble. Yeah. It should have been called Stitch and Bitch, you know, it was that bad. There's more bitching than stitching, though. No, I used to go and I used to come home on a Wednesday and I used to wonder why I went because I used to be I'd be so mad at something that somebody had said. Not to me, I mean, just talking out in general, you know. And I used to think, why are you doing this? Anyway, I found better ones now, nicer. Nicer knit clubs I found now. We have a laugh, we don't, you know, argue. My hand's gone to sleep, my hand's gone to sleep. I finished the end of my row. I can crochet all night, but I can't knit all night. Something happens, either my hand cramps up or my shoulders cramp up. I'll have to wind it up though, otherwise Rosie will find the ball and she'll have it all around the garden if I don't watch out. Yeah, the wildfires in Rhodes is bad, isn't it? It's been so hot and so dry over there that everything's like tinder, isn't it? So if somebody, you know, accidentally drops a match or a cigarette, woof, the whole thing goes up. Right, I'm going to give my fingers a break now. I've not done so bad. Nearly up to the armhole. Well, it isn't over here when we have fires on the moors. There's always some twit with a barbecue or some children who think it's funny to light a fire and then run away. It kills a lot of wildlife when it does. You know, when these fires start on the moors and that, it kills a lot of wildlife, kills the peat off, kills a lot of things off. Right, I've wound my ball of wool up. I'm hoping I've got enough wool actually to finish this thing. Technically, I should have, but you know, it doesn't always go by how many grams of wool you've got, because if you know, your wool's not got a very good yardage. I'll see how I go. Oh yeah, we always have a laugh when the knit clubs I go to now. We have a laugh. Even in the library when it's supposed to be quiet. I'm just upset about my scarf. Mm. Yeah, sometimes it's the work of a pyromaniac, but sometimes it's just stupid people. You know, those disposable barbecues, they don't make sure they're out properly and then they just leave them and then they, you know, why do you need to take a disposable barbecue on a picnic? For goodness sake, just have a sandwich like everybody else. It's not so bad if it's on a beach or something like that, you know, where there's no grass and you can throw sand over it to put it out and then dispose of it in a timely manner, yeah. Yeah, when they set fire to the moors over here, it threatens houses and everything. Because all the heather and that, it's amazing how many rabbits and wildlife get killed. It takes years from the peat and everything, it gets years for it to be established again. You know, when they do that, all the little birds and everything that nest in the, I don't mean the birds that fly, a lot of them are like pheasant type birds that nest and that in the grass and the ground, they get burned. A pyromania is somebody who likes fire and gets a great delight by starting a fire. Um, you know, like people who set fire to other people's houses and watch them burn. It's a, well, they're not right in the head, obviously, are they? Pyromaniac, yeah. They get excited by the flames and that. obviously not a normal person, but I mean, I like watching flames, but only in my log fire, you know, or a bonfire. I don't want to go out and set fire to anything. I mean, it is nice to watch the flames in a fire or in an open fire, coal fire, log fire. There's something nice about watching all the flames. I used to do it a lot when I was little because the coal used to burn like yellow and orange and blue, and you had like little patterns. So I used to like watching the coal fire, you know. My imagination would see shapes in it and everything. But that didn't mean I wanted to go out and light a fire. I'm talking about my own personal wood fire, log fire, coal fire. I've never felt the urge to strike a match and set fire to anything. It's bad enough when they used to burn the grass at certain um, times of the year to encourage the new to grow. Or they used to, you know, when they chopped down all the wheat and that, they used to burn the field, didn't they, to get it ready for the next season. We used to call it sweeling. I don't know where that came from, but that was controlled burning. I don't know what it did, why it prepared the ground for the next year. I don't know why. It was like the little stubbly bits of the wheat and the corn and the barley and that used to burn. But people were there. You know, they weren't letting it get out of hand or anything. Yeah, pyromaniac, we would call it, yeah. Well, they are maniac, aren't they? Anybody who does that is a maniac, isn't it? That's a true definition of the word. We wouldn't call him a pyroman, no. See, you're not allowed to say that. Oh, it could be a pyro person. You can't say man anymore because it could be a woman now. You've got to say pyro person. Yeah, an arsonist, isn't it? Pyromaniac is a posher word for an arsonist, yeah. I think an arsonist has more malicious intent. They set fire to things for a malicious reason to burn things. Pyromaniacs really just like watching flames. They don't really go with the intention of killing anybody. They just like watching fires. Whereas an arsonist, I think, wants to kill somebody, I think, when they set fire to things. That's the way I read it anyway. You know, when they deliberately pour petrol through somebody's letterbox, that's an arsonist. I think a pyromaniac is somebody who sets fire to trees and things like that. It always amazes me that they still build high rises with only one doorway. Because if you get anybody stupid enough to put something through your letterbox, you can't get out because you've only got one door. And if you're in a high rise, you know, how the heck do you get out? That's one reason why I would never like to live, you know, in a high rise apartment flat. I want two doors. I want a back door and a front door. I want some windows downstairs that I can get out of if there's a fire, yeah. I would hate to be in a high rise stuck up on the 14th floor with one door that's on fire. It must be awful. You know, you can't go down in the lift because all electrical, you can't use it if there's been a fire. So can you imagine me trying to go down about 14 floors without a lift? Ain't gonna happen, baby. You can't exactly jet line or whatever they call out of the building, can you? Can you imagine all these people coming out of a window and jet lining across to the building across the road? What time is? Oh, it's past the witching hour. It's time for this little girlie to try and get some sleep. My fingers have gone dead with knitting. Yep. I'll see if my scrubbit's charged up. Ready for my scrubbiting next week. Yeah, when everybody's gone out, I shall do my scrubbiting. It's got all different thingy-jigs. It's got a fluffy thing. I suppose that's when you're polishing something, isn't it? It's got a wire wool one, which I wouldn't want to use in the bathroom because it might scratch everything. I'm going to use the brush as a brush. Oh, and then there's a sponge. There's 6 different heads, I think. 5 or 6 different heads. So I shall let you know how I get on. And I will also let you know if I get my scarf back. If somebody hasn't wandered off with it. You know, in some places, if it's not screwed down, it disappears. Yeah. Take me dangling earrings out because I can't sleep in these. Ding-a-ling-ling-ling. Oh, I hope I do. It was a gift, so I think you value things more when people have made them for you, don't you? You know, if it's something I'd have made, I wouldn't have been as attached to it, but it was the fact it was made for me many years ago by a dear friend, you know. Google gives you pyromaniac, yeah. Mushrooms or lamps? What are mushrooms or lamps? Oh, the earrings. No, they're just... No, I'm going to take them out anyway. I haven't got a picture of the scarf I lost. No, sadly, I don't. I've had it so many years. I probably did have one originally. Right. Let me get the back on. Where will the back not go? Oh, the back's gone on now. There they are. They're like a little bell. That's what they are. I can't sleep in them, so I have to take them out. I can't sleep in anything that's got a spike. You know, like a spiky bit, because it sticks in my ears. Oh, God, no, I hate fire. I always have my escape routes planned in any place I've ever lived in. I've always had windows that opened that way, you know, so I could get out. When I had my house, I had a flat roof at the back with windows that opened like that. That was my escape route. I would get out and stand on the roof. That was, unless the kitchen was on fire, because the kitchen was a flat roof. But if it was the kitchen that was on fire, I'd probably be able to get downstairs and get out the front door. I had it all planned out. I mean, here I've got 3 escape routes here because I'm downstairs. So I've got the front door, conservatory door, and the back door. So I've got 3 escape routes here. If there was a fire, which God forbid, do not want fire. I couldn't live in an apartment, though, that was like so many floors up. Because they only have one door. It's not like you have a back door and a front door. You don't. You have one door in these flats. So that would really, yeah, worry me. Hey. Anyway, people, I am going to go to beddy bows now. So thank you all very much for your company. And I will see you next week sometime. You may see me or on me. You see, I might make more videos. I tend to make more videos when I'm in on my own. Because there's nobody walking in and out, you know, interrupting me. I'd rather talk. That's why I used to make a lot more videos when I lived on my own, because there was nobody coming in and out. Nobody interrupting you. There's only the dog, you know. My little Gigi used to sit on my knee all the time, yeah. Yeah, I can chatter away. I'm not self-conscious when there's nobody else in the house, yeah. Oh, God, living alone, yeah, it has lots of benefits, yeah. I enjoy my time on my own. I'm a bit dubious about living on my own now, although I might be all right in a bungalow. I always had stairs, you see, when I lived on my own, and that was what the thing was. I kept falling down them. So I wasn't to be trusted when I lived on my own because I fell a lot. Ripped the banister off out the wall when I lived on my own, yeah. You saw my vlog was showing all the necklaces and the earrings, yeah. Hey, my shed's getting close. It's getting emptied a bit now. It's not as crowded as it was. Yeah. Secret bedroom. Yeah, I said if I ever get rid of my wool, I'm going to have beds in there. I'd have to have a chemical toilet, though, because I'd be no good. I had to come all the way in the house when I wanted the bathroom, would I? Been asked to sleep out there, actually, and quiet, peace and quiet. Have a little secret bed sit out there in my shed. If I ever get rid of all my wool, yeah. It's big enough to be a little, well, a tiny, tiny house it would be. Won't be as big as Shad's tiny house. Oh, well, hello, Ariel. I'm just going. You've picked a very bad time to say hello, dear, because I was just going signing off and saying goodbye to everybody. Oh, dear. There's always somebody that pops on just as I'm going off, and I feel terrible. Usually it's Anglesey. She usually comes on just as I'm going off. Yeah, so sorry, Ariel. It's nothing you've done or said. I was going off anyway, so sorry about that. Anyway, I am going to go to bed now, so I will see you all very, very soon. Be soon, I said, be soon. So thank you all for your company, and I will say good night. Good night. Good night, all.